What's up? What's up? What's up? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. What's going on? Hope y'all staying warm. As always, please do not take these things personally. They are not personal attacks. They are not directed at any one individual or entity or anything of that nature. Okay, now that we've got the business out of the way. What's good, everybody? All right. So, as I kind of journey on my social media, as I'm on the Facebook streets and the tag streets and the Instagram streets and the Twitter streets, I've noticed something. And it's just something, maybe it's just me. There are so many people. Hey, Miss Danielle. There are so many people that look like us that have this mountain of information to give us, to tell us that what we've been thinking and what we believe to be true is nowhere near true. And I find it interesting because with the current person that's in the White House, he does a thing called, says that which is true is false, and that which is false is true. I'm not going to use his little moniker. I'm going to just say it like it is. We have been told so many different stories about so many different things. And one of the things that they continually attack is the Bible. Most of the people that are talking about it have never really read, got into it, studied it, broke it down. They just say, oh, the white man wrote it, and because the white man wrote it, it's a trap for us. Okay. Here's the part that I'm going to probably make some people mad. It's not intentional. Really not trying to, but I'm going to. There are people that look just like us that get paid to make us doubt what we know is true. They have no concern about our well-being, spiritually, physically, financially, none of the above. They get on social media platforms, they get on television, and they toe the line that has already been established by those that do not particularly like us at all. And they will comfortably sit there on TV stations and radio stations and on different sites on here and tell you that you're a slave, you're stuck, you're this, you're that. I just know one thing when it comes to God. It's not about God is not a religion. It's a relationship. When you spend time with him, you get to know him, you get to know his character, you get to know his nature, you get to know all the different aspects of him that is not in that book. I always hear, people talk about slavery days. Hey, sunshine, what is up? This is one of the biggest things about slavery and the slaves. The slaves were smart enough to know they had to survive. They knew just because Master said that in the book is talking about me being this head or this leader or this God, they knew better. They just knew that they couldn't tell them that they knew better. Yes, love, what's up? Hey. Thank you for stopping through. Everybody, when you're in a position where you don't have enough power to change, start change, you have to work with what you got. And back in the slavery days, it was illegal for slaves to read, but lo and behold, they gave them what? They gave them Bibles. So they taught themselves how to read using the very tool that people say now was used to keep them in bondage. You're only kept in bondage if you listen to tradition, if you don't have a relationship with him, and you don't have a mind to think for yourself. These are just my opinions. This is just little old me. There are a lot of people got comfortable in that position of, somebody taking care of them. But then there were others that smarter who said, you know what, right now, I can't fight. Because if I fight right now, I'm going to get myself killed and I'm going to get a lot of other people hurt. But tell you what, let's start planning and plotting and do all that we can do right in front of their face because they think we're so slow and dumb. That was one of the biggest mistakes that plantation owners had. They thought that the slaves they had were not smart and were not intelligent. They were very intelligent. Some of them were the ones that invented some of the very inventions that their slave masters ended up taking credit for. But they wasn't worried about the credit right there. And they was like, look, we need to make this job as easy as possible. And that's exactly what they did. And it made their job easier. So we have to stop saying that they were slaves and they were dumb and they did it. No, they were a whole lot smarter than a lot of us are now. Because nowadays, we have gotten comfortable thinking that we have all these freedoms. But they're only freedoms when they're convenient for others. When we step out of what they consider step out of our lane and do what they feel is we are overstepping our rights, even though we're supposed to have the exact same rights as they do, then all of a sudden you're doing too much. It's the same thing in church. It's all right to hoop and holler and scream and yell and do all of that when the person preaching is preaching, gibberish. But then when somebody comes in with some real knowledge and some real information, that instead of them hooping and hollering, they're quiet and listening. You want to get up and run around. No. I've watched and I've seen, and it's the truest statement I've ever seen. There are too many people that look like me that are my skin tone that say that they are walking and working with us and they believe that they are going to help us get better. I don't hate to say this, but the truth be told, those are some of the very agents of disorder and discouragement that have been placed in our lives. They look just like us. Those are the people that will sit and tell you to your face, oh yes, it's wonderful, you can do this. At the same time, they're walking away talking about, they need to stop, they need to quit, they need to be content where they at. And I can say that for this one reason. When I accepted my call as a preacher, I had false expectations at first. I thought that all these different people that, see me and have heard me teach and heard me do the things that God has allowed me to do would be like, oh man, I knew it. I knew God was going to call him. I knew it. It was the total opposite. But I had people that would get in my face and say, well, God calls all of us to be ministers and this, that, and the other. And they would be, trying to make it sound like they were encouraging me. But at the same time, they were basically saying, look, you are a dime a dozen. There is nothing special about you. There are so many other people that can do exactly what you do, which I know is a lie because I don't even know what I be doing. So how can somebody else know, better than me? It's just, God only knows what God only knows what he's going to say out of my mouth on any given day, at any particular moment. And I'm saying these things because I keep seeing folks that look like us try and steer us in all these different confusing directions, or in trying to sow, say that they're sowing, seeds of causing us to grow together, but they're really seeds of discord. They're things that make us, question our brother and sister. And then there's some folks out here that when you see some of the stuff that they post, I saw a woman talking about she don't want no man to, hey Tammy Tam, She said she don't want another boy, another person to ask her out on a date because she wants somebody to pay her bills. Hey, sissy. Just the mentality of I need to get everything I can get, and I'm not concerned with how I get it, but you're gonna give it to me, and you gonna do it the way I want. A lot of us have gotten so selfish and so greedy, and then when things don't work out, we're so upset. But the thing is, you've got to learn to know who's on your side and who's not on your side. I keep seeing too many people, and I think I'm being repetitive. Too many people that look, that are black. I just say it like that. That say they support this or they believe in that or they whatever the case may be. All the time they're in your face, that's what they're saying. But at the same time, they're going back and reporting to those that don't like us, telling them what our plan is and what can they do to help slow down our process. So everybody that smiles and say, I support you and I'll be right here with you, sometimes you have to examine. You got to look at their fruit. Have they been doing this a long time, or is it like all of a sudden now they're concerned about what you're concerned about? All of a sudden now your issue has become their issue. But for years it was never their issue. Now sometimes life can change you, and life can alter you and put you in different perspectives and different situations and make you realize that maybe you were wrong. But there are a lot of people that are comfortable benefiting off of the distress and the depression of those that should be considered their brother or sister, but they don't consider us their brothers and sisters. They consider themselves something in a totally different league. Be wise in who you seek counsel from. Be wise who you tell your plans to. Be wise who you share your dreams with, because there are a lot of people that say that I'm going to support your dream, but they're actually the ones that have been sent to kill your dream. And you sitting up here with them, you sitting at the table breaking bread with them and laying your plan out in front of them, and they're looking at every position and every opportunity. I can throw a little sand in here, I can put a little dirt over here, I can move a couple pegs here, and all of those things that they're trying to do, they're not going to work. It's kind of like cartoons and different stuff I've seen where somebody's invented something, but then when they get ready to go out and test it, it doesn't work, and they can't figure out what's wrong with it. Well, what's wrong with it is that somebody's been messing with your stuff while your back was turned. Whenever you get ready to move out and God is giving you instructions to do something, follow his instructions so closely. Just follow them and trust them, because if he says don't tell nobody, there's a reason why he's saying don't tell nobody. If he says once I remove you from this place, don't you come back to this place, there's a reason why. If he says don't carry anyone that is in this land with you to the future land that I'm going to put you in, there's a reason why he's telling you that. God got to do some stuff with those people, and it's not your place to be in the middle of what he's about to do, because sometimes those are the people that are hindering your progress. Sometimes the people that we love, and it's like, man, that's my boy, that's my girl, we've been together forever. Sometimes that your girl or your boy, they got to stay. You got to let them go. You got to pray for them. You got to, wish them well. But you got to be on your journey, and you got to do what is you've been called to do, and what God has blessed you and promised you. Because sometimes the things that God has promised us are held up only because of who we're associated with, who we still got around us. God's like, yes, you speaking in faith, and you speaking to the mountain, and the mountain is rumbling, but the mountain's not moving. And you're like, but why? While you speaking to the mountain, they're speaking against you, the mountain moving. So the mountain is in conflict because it's hearing two different voices. One says go and one says stay. Sometimes you got to let those people go. They got to move on down the road, so that your authority cannot be circumvented or can be confused with somebody else's, because God is so good. He'll never force anything on you. But sometimes when you're speaking to him, somebody else is trying to speak against what you're trying to do. And the two voices overlap and create confusion. Now, you're not confused. God's not confused, because God can sort it out. But he wants you to know that every time you get ready to speak into it, your things into your future, if you still got this person behind you, supposedly supporting you, but they're actually opposing you, it's going to be a difficult thing to get accomplished. It's not that it won't get accomplished, but it will get accomplished. It just may take a little bit longer, because you've got to always reevaluate your circle and those people in your circle. That's really the thing that I've been noticing, and that's really the thing that I believe God wanted me to come on here and say. There are people that are in our circle that have no business being in our circle. Yes, we grew up with them. Yes, they might even be, an auntie, a cousin, sometimes even your children. Sometimes, I hate to say this because it's sad. Sometimes your children are your greatest haters, because they think that you should be, as mama or daddy, they think that you should be content in a certain spot and that you should do no more than that. You should just be cool right there. And when they see you moving past that, they're like, hold on, wait a minute, mama, wait a minute, daddy. Y'all doing too... No, I'm not supposed to be here and be stagnant. For a long time, I was more concerned with everybody else around me. And that's why my health got to where it is, where it has been. Since I have taken this entire year, this has been a whole year process. I have learned what to eat, what not to eat, what to change, what not to change. I've learned to be content being at my house by myself, not having no little girlfriend, no little boo, no little nothing. Every now and then I wouldn't mind having one. But then when I see what my friends are going through, and I realize how important it is for me to accomplish this task that I'm on, which is to get out of my wheelchair and be back up on my feet, walking, so I can take care of my house, so I can take care of myself, so I can be in a position that when I do meet the person God has created for me, that I'll be able to us really enjoy life together. I don't need somebody that has to take care of me or help me out or do stuff for me because I can't do it. I'm only 55 years old. And that word right there is for anybody that's struggling with health issues, mobility issues, or anything like that. If God has spoken over your life that you will recover and that you will not be in the condition you're in right now, take the first step and do the first small thing. As you do that first small thing, trust me, God will lead you to each additional thing, and you'll find out as time goes by, what you thought was so difficult and hard, it's not so difficult and hard. I thought that I would never be able to fast. A couple of weeks ago, I was able to do a 6-day fast. I was amazed. All I had was juice. I had juice and popcorn. That was it. Now, I learned some valuable lessons about popcorn, but that is here nor there. You got to eat it in moderation because it's fiber, and it works everything out of you. Praise God. But so serious. We've been called to a higher position and a higher place, and not so much inside the church, but just in our own personal lives. There are people that are watching us. There are people that know who we have a relationship with. And in the process of us having that relationship, it's got them curious about who is this God that they serve? Who is this person that blesses them and encourages them when I see nobody else around them encouraging them? That song says, sometimes you got to encourage yourself. Well, even in the midst of you encouraging yourself, God is sending angels to come and sing with you along as you're singing on that journey. But Evaluate your circle. Trust the process. Know that God has got higher and better and greater for you. And as much as it may hurt, whoever God says cut, cut. Whoever says God says hold, hold. But please, whatever you do, trust God and His instructions, because it is for your good and for your future and for your success. I'ma holler at y'all. Have a great night. Night, sunshine. Night, sissy. I love y'all. I'll probably do another one. Night, queen. Much love to y'all. Peace.